12K. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad in an hour. But anyways, I've been through worse. But anyways, I'm like, this is stupid. I'm stupid. Fuck it. I believe in my thesis. I went short for a reason, right? Not just because of
Yep.
technicals, because I'm like, okay, look, Apple's fading. I think Amazon's overdone. So there was a little bit of a reasoning behind it. Um, then what happened is it went it went higher. So as it starts going higher, as 11 o'clock comes around, you know what I do, guys?
In this special Riz Elite video, we're going to detail a trade that Riz got into on futures for the S&P 500 short. And he was down quite a bit, as you saw in the intro, $12,000, and how he handled that trade and how he could have done it better.
Friday was a risky, tricky day. I'll be honest, I can tell you right now, elite members know, and maybe those that follow me closely on social media, Instagram specifically, know that I had a little bit of a oopsie on Friday. I decided to go short the S&P 500 futures, and I didn't just go short. I went short big with $2.5 million worth off the bat. I usually don't do that. Again, not saying, don't do this. Don't do this at home. Don't try this by yourself. But yeah, I did that. It completely reversed on me. Again, not the end of the world. But I was just happy to at least walk away with probably like a 2.5K, 2,500 or so something lost. It was a lot larger at the peak if I would have exited, but I was able to keep my wits about me and just get out methodically. But the kicker here is that had I actually not gotten out, maybe I think I closed it for a loss for about 2,500 loss. I think an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or something before market close. Can't exactly remember. Don't have it right in front of me, but if I would have held, the market eventually just reversed again, and it would have I would have probably netted maybe a good 10, 15K profit on that trade easily in a span of an hour or so. So that was a bummer, but hey, this is not my first rodeo. This is part of trading. I can at least look back and transparently kind of tell you about it, the good and the bad. It was a losing trade. It was a loss. It could have been a profitable one, but that's fine. But all in all, bad trade. Even if I would have made money on that trade, I would classify that as a bad trade. I would classify that as a bad entry, first and foremost. And oftentimes, I've noticed that anytime you start the trade wrong, meaning you enter on emotion, or you enter too big, or you break your rules, or you don't enter on confirmation, usually the trade ends up bad, so to speak. And that's exactly what happened. So, I mean, at least I was didn't take a large loss, but still bad trade, even if I would have made money. But moving on from that, that was my little oopsie. Just to let you guys know that yes, I am human. I do make mistakes, and I'm not perfect. So unlike some of the 17-year-old traders with 15 years of trading experience out there.
Yeah,
um,
that sort of thing happens, and I think it's important to be, honest with yourself about that and be able to say, yeah, that was a bad trade. I shouldn't have done that. And being able to look at it objectively and say, okay, why did I do this? What spurred me on to, either go in with that amount of size or take that entry and really just kind of look back on it as a learning experience. Be like, okay, yeah, I may have goofed up here, but let's, kind of keep moving forward and learn from that so that we don't do it again.
yeah, and I dissected it right after I entered. It's funny. I entered. I'm like, okay, here's a 2.6. It was actually 2.6 mil USD total net short on the futures. I did it obviously on the futures contract. And I remember I got it. I'm like, yeah, I'm just, what the fuck am I doing? Like, just instantaneously, like,
Yeah.
and it's even leading up to it, I can tell you how I felt. I was feeling super feisty. Like I was like, let's fucking go, let's do something. And that's the wrong mentality.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not,
That's
I'm
not where
not,
you want to be.
yeah, you don't want to go in with that. And again, a little bit of slip up, but hopefully you guys learn from my slip up, or maybe it gives you a little bit of a consolation that look, you know what, everyone, is prone to these kinds of things. It just depends. now what you learn from it and how you actually react to it. Glad I didn't. I technically the right thing would have been to like make a mistake and then like a couple minutes just get out because I still had a chance to get out before it completely switched over on me. Um, but I didn't. So that was another mistake. I stayed in, and then if I really, really want to give myself any positivity out of this or anything good out of this, is what I did was I didn't panic out after. Like, yeah, the ideal time would have been to close right away because it hadn't moved big yet, but then it started moving big. And Chris, let's do something actually. Let's bring up the futures contract, MES. Yep. And actually, no. MES, press MES and then, yep, there you go. And then one. Yep. There we go. Now you can bring it to the 1 minute chart if you want.
Oh, let's okay,
Actually,
sure.
yeah, let's do 5 minutes. Let's do 5 minutes because
Yeah.
I wanna show and then double click there. Very beautiful. So let's actually walk through this. I don't have the timestamps, guys, but I think what happened was I can tell you in the morning, so we can see 9:30. Actually, let me bring up the timestamp again. I apologize for anyone who's looking for the rest of the webinar. We will get to that, but I think it's important. I think this is important. Just happened to be so that I had a fuck up on Friday, so I think it's important to kind of go over it. Not often do I fuck up, right, Chris?
Yeah, it's definitely a rare occurrence, but I think it's important just to be honest with yourself. And even if you do have a, winning record, that doesn't mean that you don't take your knocks every once in a while.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So yeah, I think I got in around 10. Yep, around 10 o'clock
All
on
right.
Friday, which is what is it? No, further back. Six, yep, yep. Third. Yeah, so 10 a.m. Where the fuck are we? Um, yeah, look at this. See that drop there? Um, I got in pretty much at the bottom, tick that, Chris. I pretty much shorted nearly at the bottom.
Solid hit there, Riz.
Yeah,
Well
and
done.
that too with 2.6 mil. Like an absolute degen. Like just all around horrible. Like it's like embarrassing, honestly, looking back at it. But not exactly at the bottom. It was I can tell you my cost price actually. It was probably yeah, it was around exactly 45.24. Yeah, there you go. So do you see the just at the end of the candle body, but not at that wick. So and remember, futures move fast. So
Yeah, they do.
this is a 5 minute chart. I usually look at the 2 minute, 1 minute, and not a complete bottom tick, but still absolute degen.
Here, you
What
want to
a
look at the 2 minute? We can look at the 2 minute. There
yeah,
we go.
what a colossal fuck. Yeah, I think this is perfect because this will give us through the entire day. So look at me here, 2.6 million short. I just thinking back, it just makes me laugh. And I'm like, okay, let's wait again. 2 minutes are ticking by each candle, okay, and then you see that big God candle there, green one coming in, and I'm like, like I don't want to swear too much on this, Chris. I think
Yeah, we
I
don't
don't
want
know, yeah,
we don't
but
want the
I'm
Google
like,
gods to get us.
yeah, I'm like, this is just fucking great. Like, guys, just imagine being 2.5 million, 2.6 million USD short, and this moves like that. And each point, so I was short maybe 120 contracts on MES.
Wow.
So I'm not going to do a futures trading lesson here, but every point in MES, which is the micro S&P 500 futures, is like $5. Every one single point on a 4,005, 4,500, point product. 1 point is $5 for one
Moves
contract.
quick.
So when you see when you see a move like this, which is happening in front of you within a span of an hour, and I'm going to tell you guys the honest to God truth, and I hope people are watching this after the fact because I think every elite member needs to watch this,
Yep.
if not everyone who follows me, because I will tell you guys something which I did, which is absurd, which most people won't be able to do. But I swear to God, I did it. I sitting here, I'm like, this is fucked up. I should have just got out. But I'm like, okay, I'm in this, and I'm probably losing. I don't know, Chris. What's that move all the way up to like? I think it went up to like 45, 48. No, 45, 48. A little bit earlier. Let's say 10, 30, 11. So I'm sitting there babysitting this shit for like an hour, and I'm like, this is This is fucked. What's the move there? What's that percentage of it?
So like right here at 1040, it's 45-44.
Okay. 45, 44. My entry is at like 45, 24. So that's like 20 points. What am I losing there, Chris? 20 times 5 times 120. Let's bring out
So
the good old trusty calculator. Just
as I
shouldn't be
said
that
last
much.
time,
Really.
guys, math on stream is hard.
12K. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad in an hour. But anyways, I've been through worse. But anyways, I'm like, this is stupid. I'm stupid. Fuck it. I believe in my thesis. I went short for a reason, right? Not just because of
Yep.
technicals, because I'm like, okay, look, Apple's fading. I think Amazon's overdone. So there was a little bit of a reasoning behind it. Um, then what happened is it went it went higher. So as it starts going higher, as 11 o'clock comes around, you know what I do, guys?
You added.
Let me know in the chat what do you think I do. Again, for those of you that are not in the chat, uh, that just hang on a second. Just everyone quickly type what I do. Jeffrey says added. Okay,
That's
that's
my
great,
vote.
guys. That's a great guess. And then obviously Sean saying scale in, okay, and Chris, I'm gonna count you as scale in too.
Yep.
And Abhishek saying went long. Obviously, nah, I didn't go long. I didn't go long. But okay, got it. So most people are saying I scaled and added. I actually didn't do that. So pat
That's
on the back for
impressive.
me. I didn't do that. What I did do was I fucking went to sleep.
Ah, of course. It's a good way to do it.
So I said, fuck this. I'm holding this. And I went to sleep with a $2.6 million short position. I honest to God is my witness, guys. I gotta be dead brutally honest. This is not some clickbait shit. I went to sleep. I said, fuck this, and I went to sleep. Uh Now I will tell you this. I went to sleep, but I kept waking up. Just again, hand on my heart, honest to God. I passed out because I was exhausted. And I, every 30 minutes, I would notice I would wake up, but I went to sleep for a couple hours. So again, I went to sleep for a couple hours. So within that, every 30 minutes, I would wake up. And you know how I'd wake up? I would wake up from a dream that my trade went profitable. On
Those
guys,
are good
this is
dreams.
this is so like I'm telling you guys, I went through some shit that day. It was not the first time this has happened to me where like I've been in it. It's just a complete mess up. Again, this happens. This is unfortunately that's not talked about often by
Yeah.
large, experienced, traders that are still around. They're just not talked about because for whatever fucking reason they're too pompous. But I'm asleep and I'm waking up every half an hour. Like fuck, oh shit, oh my god, it's not. I didn't end up profitable. I'm still in this fucking trade, and it was a dream. So after this happening 3 to 4 times, we're back at around maybe 1 or 2 p.m. Okay. And then what happens is, all right, I'm losing about 10, 12K, but I'm not losing what I was a couple hours ago. So now comes around maybe 2 o'clock. Okay. So at 2 o'clock, we see this thing start pulling back, big drop. And I'm like, okay, there we go. That's it. I'm gonna take this off now because I know what it feels like to be losing like 15K on this just out of nowhere for a mistake. I'm like, I don't like making mistakes. I don't like losing money. But I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna get out. So I get out for a loss of around 214 exactly for a $2,700 loss. And lo and behold, it just completely washes lower even more. So
Yeah,
um
but I understand your exit
yeah,
here. I mean, you have this big move down, and it looks like it starts to rebound
yes,
here.
yes.
And of course, guys, remember when we're looking at this now, we're looking at this in hindsight. When Riz is watching this go, let me try and get it on the screen to show you what it would look like. Uh, if you see the chart doing this, right? You see this, you've clearly bounced off of something. There is some support here at 45.24, and we're really starting to curl back up. I mean, there's nothing to say that this thing doesn't go back up to 45.60.
Yep.
So I think that's a pretty fair exit.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, you didn't
Yeah,
get,
absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that in my defense.
yeah,
I
for
I
sure.
actually didn't like again, remember guys, I did make mistakes, but it's not like I'm plastered. Like I'm not on anything. Like I'm not doing anything stupid. Like don't get me wrong. Completely fine. Like I'm in the right frame of mind per se. I'm not on anything, obviously. But so I'm not just doing stupid stuff for the sake of stupid stuff. In hindsight, yeah, my entry was horrible, but I'm not just tilt. I'm not on tilt. I'm not like completely gone off the rails. So when I'm looking at this real time, I'm like, okay, from losing 15K or so at the peak to now losing 2,700, fuck it,
A lot
right?
better.
Mistake is a mistake. 2,700 on a 2.6 mil notional value short, fuck it. So I take it off. Now, in hindsight, obviously it just tanked lower. Apple went lower and Amazon gave back some of the gains. Hence why we're seeing the market. Remember, this futures contract is actually the S&P 500. So this is just another way of looking at the S&P 500. But I'm bringing up the exact contract for you guys here, or Chris is at least. And I'm like, okay, screw this. I put this off and I'm just put my phone away. I'm just put everything away. I'm done. Like I'm just like I'm not bothering for the day. Mentally, like internally, I'm like I'm not doing anything. I obviously take a look later on in an hour or so as we start getting into the close at what 16, yeah, around 4. So it did drop lower. Obviously, what could I have made? I don't know, Chris. What? So if I went short at 45.24, and let's just maybe I wouldn't bottom tick this, but let's just say if I were to close at 45 08, let's say
508. All right.
4508. So how much would that be? That's a good 14 points,
Okay,
16
time.
points, 16
So
points times
5
5. Yeah,
times
times
120.
yeah. Okay, there you go. Remember, guys, what I said? 10K. So
Yep.
look at the roller coaster from like a drawdown of $15,000 at the peak to then potentially could have made 10K. So look at that complete reversal. Why? Because the entire market reversed. Because I did post this very briefly, like I showed the lost
Yep.
position size on Instagram. People are like, Riz, how did you end up doing? The market flushed. You were short. This is it. This is the nuance. This is the nitty gritty details of entry and exit that really make the trade. And of course, the reasoning behind it, which was horrible. The thesis was right. Position sizing and entry was bad. The entry itself was bad. Holding on to it wasn't ideal either. I think it turned out fine, all things considered. But hey, hopefully you guys get to see this walkthrough and kind of appreciate the reality of what I went through on Friday. Again, not too bad. After I closed it, I was like, I moved on. I didn't want to trade that further because it's just dumb. It was like near the end of the day, but I'm like, all right, that's it. I never thought about. I was fine. I just moved on with my day. But that's me. Again, it takes some time to get to that point. But all right, let's
It's
continue
really,
back on.
yeah, no, it's really a difficult thing to go through, and all I can say is I've went through this as well. Maybe not with 2.6 million on the line, but for those of you that know, I did used to do this type of trading with Riz, and yeah, we definitely had some up and down days, and it really wears on you. So I mean, I have to give you credit for not sitting there and watching it the whole time, because I probably would have done that and it would have been terrible. If you hold through something like this and then you have to hold through this too, it will mentally wear on you. So probably taking that nap was a good decision, because I mean, if I had been sitting there watching it the whole time, I would have been going nuts.
No, like you literally start losing your mind. You literally
Yep.
start like you start, your blood pressure starts going up. You just start thinking, you just start getting annoyed and pissed off, and you're just literally sitting there waiting for every tick. Remember, you're
Yep.
waiting every minute, every candle. Um, it's brutal. It's a brutal
Incredibly
place to be.
stressful.
But yeah, no, and of course, as people in elite know, uh, there's a statistical edge in shorting the market when I go to sleep.
That
So
is true.
that is absolute fact. I kid you guys not. If you're watching this and you're not an elite, there's actually a proven edge. Yeah, I'm laughing because it's so fucking absurd. But
Yeah, it
Chris,
kind
you
of
know
is.
this, and other
No,
people
it's
can
true.
attest to this. When I decide to go to sleep, people start. It's funny because anytime I announce it, I didn't announce it this time, but if I do, it's short central.
Exactly. No, that's really cool, and I think that gives a really in-depth look at something that people don't usually get to see. So I hope you enjoyed that.